Hello, moviegoers! Welcome to another episode of CritiCarter, the show where I turn you into a cinephile. Today I saw the new film, The Cabin in the Woods, directed by Goddard, co-written by Goddard and Joss Whedon, and starring Chris Hemsworth, Kristen, Connolly, and Jesse Williams. There are a couple other people in the movie, but they're all new actors and I couldn't find any pictures for them, so I'm very sorry about that. In this film, a bunch of college kids go out to a cabin in the woods, the titular Cabin in the Woods, ready to have a great time and party hard and all that good stuff that college kids do when they're out in the woods, unsupervised.
How do you know about that, Carter? You done that before?
Shh. However, things soon take a very dark turn, and not all is as it appears to be. If you've seen the trailer for this movie, I'm sorry. The trailer has spoiled a very big portion of the plot for you. And because of that, I'm not linking to it down in the description for this video, and I'm not going to say anything further about the plot of this film than I already have. Before I get into the critical aspects of the review, this film, for those of you who don't know, was shot way back in 2009, and it's just now getting released. Usually, like in the case of the recent Eddie Murphy movie, 1,000 Words, films getting put on the shelf for a few years is a very bad sign. Cabin in the Woods is the noted exception to this rule. The reason for the delay was a difference of opinion between the filmmakers and the studio about whether or not the film should be post-converted into 3D, which thankfully it wasn't, and the fact that originally the film was made by MGM, which proceeded to go into bankruptcy, and a lot of the films it was working on, including the remake of Red Dawn that's soon to come out, which also stars Chris Hemsworth, and the upcoming James Bond film, Skyfall. However, it found a new home with Lionsgate and has finally been released, again, free of any horrible post-converted three-dimensional trickery. For those of you who watched my Woman in Black review, you'll know I am not a horror movie kind of guy. I don't get the appeal in paying money to be made afraid of things. But I love Cabin in the Woods. It's a really great movie. The script that Whedon and Goddard co-wrote plays with the usual horror movie tropes really well. You've got your typical roles, you know. You got a jock, a stoner, a virgin, sort of, an egghead, and a woman very comfortable with her sexuality. The film calls her horror. I'm not going to do that. Now Whedon's been around the block once or twice. He knows how to take something and flip it around, give you a nice new fresh perspective on it, like he did with Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog. A similar kind of thing happens with Cabin in the Woods. Again, there's a lot more going on in the plot that I'm not going to say 2 words about. Again, let me just reinforce, I really like this film. Maybe it's just because Chris Hemsworth has played Thor already. Just the fact, in this movie, he just looks massive. You know, he's supposed to be a jock, and he's wearing this really hideous-looking Letterman jacket for a good portion of the film, and he's got a scene on a motorbike. But even compared to, you know, the other guys in the movie, he's, you know, way up there, and they're just down here chilling out. Maybe get somebody a little less physically impressive. And the further that I get away from having watched this movie, the more I'm thinking about the finer details of the third act. This kills me to not be able to say anything about it, but it's such a good movie, I don't want to say anything more than what you've probably already seen by having seen any of the trailers for this movie. At the end of the day, I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5 terrified adults.
Ooh.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 for a movie in a genre that I don't care for. That's got to tell you something. You can see last week's review of Mirror Mirror up over there. Next week I'm going to the Florida Film Festival, so there won't be a video review. I'm seeing The Last Picture Show, which, if any of you know, not really a recent movie. It's in black and white. It's old. It's not old, but it's, you know, the 50s, I think. So I'll do a nice little written review for that. Nothing video. The week after that, I'm going to have a review of the new film The Raven, starring John Cusack as Edgar Allan Poe hunting down the culprit of a series of murders based on his own works. And I'll have that review linked up over there as soon as it's ready. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and favorite it if that's your thing. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. I know you guys all have presences on social media, and you're not just some random YouTube person, but none of my Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr numbers match up to how many people are following me on YouTube, so go out there, you know, spread the word through the social networks. CritiCarter.
Favorite if it's your thing. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, and
it's my thing.
If anybody talks about spoilers in the comments of this video, you're getting deleted. No spoilers.
Pretty harsh.
This is a very big movie. I don't want anybody spoiling it, okay? I'm very passionate about it. No spoilers.